So we're gonna be a bit more try hard this game because we're gonna try and get the commentary out, and I really want to try and focus on teaching you guys how to play Shaco in season 5. I mean, I will I'll just say right off the bat that I'm not as good at Shaco as I used to be in the past, and a lot of stuff has changed about the jungle, which makes playing Shaco different as well. But I still think I know, I've played around with him, and I still, I still know the basics of Shaco as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll just teach you guys, we'll give you guys a good Shaco gameplay. And always when I do these Unranked to Diamond games as well, I try and focus on obviously teaching you the certain champions, but it is like the focus really is just teaching you how to be better players. And all of the things that come along with low elo, which you guys complain about, which quite rightly, like flamers, trolls, that kind of thing. How to really carry in solo queue and not let those guys get you down. So what I'm going to do here, my box placement, is I like to put at 55 seconds, which is going to be a nowish. I put a box down at the Gromp. The reason why I'm putting boxes down at Gromp is because, and the reason why you put it down at 55 seconds is because your boxes last for 1 minute. So if your boxes last for 1 minute and stuff spawns at 155, then you want to put the boxes down at 55 seconds. And contrary to popular belief, that's only the trigger time. So they're not going to expire as soon as they've triggered. They last for an additional 5 seconds after they've triggered. But 2 boxes down at Gromp because I'm going to kill that first with Smite. And then I'm going to put some boxes outside of the blue buff. But I'm not going to put it on top of the blue buff. I'm going to put it about here and pray that this doesn't aggro the blue buff. Now, it shouldn't aggro the blue buff. Hopefully. Now, I've practiced this. I admit that I actually haven't practiced this a lot on this side of the jungle. I've done it a lot on this side, so I kind of know where to put the boxes for blue there. But as far as it goes for this side, this could not be the right positioning, but I'm not sure. Either way, we're going to take the Grompo with Smite first. And then we're going to have those boxes over at the blue buff. Yeah, they're nowhere near close enough. Those boxes over at the blue buff are to... we're going to kite them kite the blue buff into those boxes. That may actually not even be they may be too far away actually. Maybe outside it shouldn't be too far away, honestly. It should be fine. Yeah, it's fine. So we're just going to kill this blue buff. I'm going to make it so that we take the blue buff down with the boxes and not let the boxes die either. You really don't want the boxes to die. And you want to position you and your boxes kind of sandwiching jungle monsters. The reason for that is because you have your backside passive, which is 20% extra damage from when attacking from behind. So that includes your spells and everything. So if you're attacking from behind, then you do extra damage. So either you or your boxes want to be getting this backside passive. You don't want to be standing like right now. I'm getting the backside passive, and okay, that the box was attacking the wrong bloody thing, but it doesn't. It's that kind of premise. If the boxes were doing the right bloody thing, then yeah. So I'm just gonna kill this wolf camp, and I'm actually gonna try and gank because I know like ganking right now is not. Shaco isn't. He's a good ganker. He does want red buff, preferably, but he's still a good ganker without it. So I'm just gonna ward this red buff though, and so I can kind of see if Rango goes for it, because Rango does tend to get very low in his first clear. So I'm just gonna jump across here. I'm gonna put a box down here, and hopefully Ari will walk into it and get feared. Yeah, the fear slows her down, and we managed to get a really easy first blood. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait over near this red buff, and I'm not going to take it because I think that Rango would get there too quickly for me, but I am going to stack boxes here. What this does is it means that I can use them to kite Rango into me if he gets too close, or I can actually even use it to kill the red buff if I really want to, if like Rango shows somewhere else. But this is a bit of a greedy play because I should really be recalling to upgrade my smite. And I don't know where Rengar is. Like, he should be here. He should already have been here a little while ago, honestly. So, I'm a little confused as to where he is. I'll put one more box down here, and if he doesn't show soon, then I'm just going to kill the red buff. But at the same time, the longer I stand here, the higher chance he has of being here. So, it's kind of like awkward timing. There he is. Now, I think he may have seen me here. Okay, so I'm going to go in on him right now, because he activated my trap card. And he smited it first. Fuck. I was gonna say if I smite that red buff, I can kill it. I can get the hill, sorry, but no, I can still kill that Rengar, I think. But it's gonna be. I'm gonna watch the red buff's health. Okay, he's using his fury quite smartly here. Actually, I'm gonna recall here because there's nothing to do. I managed to delay Rengar a little bit, which is gonna be useful, but it's I'd rather do something more, to be honest. But I can still kill him here, honestly. We'll see. I'm going to deceive over the wall and see if he's doing it. God damn, I right-clicked the red buff. If I didn't right-click the red buff, I wouldn't have came out of stealth there. Alright, so now we've like successfully scared the crap out of Rango. We can maybe even just like go somewhere else. Maybe we can go back to Rengar here. He's going to have to flash here. And we get the red buff. Though then again, he's really near upgraded Fury, like his 5-stack Fury, which means he's going to have an empowered ability soon. So that's going to be quite like a big heal or a lot of damage. So we can't really fight him there. Alright, so we managed to piss off this Rengar a lot as well. When you're playing Shaco, that's kind of what you want to do. Is you want to be as big of a nuisance as possible. And I think I'm achieving that quite well here. Now I'm going to go for... Where the hell... I hate the way they've changed the order of the items in the shop for some weird reason. So like it used to be like AD, it was like at the top and then it went down. But for some reason they've changed the order of things. Like health used to be at the top as well and AP used to be at the top. I don't know. But the build I like to go on Shaco nowadays as well is I actually don't go for a jungle item. Not like an enchantment, sorry. I don't go for that. At least not early. I like to rush a Hydra. And then I go for a jungle item. Well, sometimes I don't even get it until later on. But Moby Boots are also quite important as well. So I should clarify that. I go for Moby Boots before I go for the Hydra. Now I'm going to smite the red buff so it gives me the heal. Now the bad thing about fighting Rengar in that position was that I did put me behind because I'm only level 4 now. But at the same time, the amount it put Rengar behind, it's probably... You know, obviously, it put him behind more than it put me behind, so it's fine. But you could argue that Shaco is more of an early game champion than Rengar is. So, you know, if we're both putting each other behind, then it might work out better for him. But I know I'm happy with putting him behind, even if I'm getting behind as well. Why is his blue buff still up? What the hell? What's wrong with this game? He took 10 years to do red buff, and his blue buff is still alive? Now, if it wasn't for that wolf spirit, that would be mine. Although then again, Arya's dead, so I should probably take it anyway. I'm going to take it anyway. Screw you. Screw you, Rango. There he is. Now, I've got my smite, my challenging smite, so I can kill this guy. Oh, shit. But Janna's going to come and save the day. Probably could have killed him, actually, even through that ignite. Through that shield, sorry. Get him, Blitzcrank. Oh, shit, that missed? How did that miss? Still, challenging smite. This is the reason why I bought the challenging smite. Because it allows me to make plays where I can just fight him. I can just fight him and easy peasy get his... Oh my god, I'm retarded. His blue buff respawned, didn't it? I'm so dumb. I didn't even realise how long I'd been fighting that Rango. Jesus. Yeah, so... I got challenging smite so I can just fight that Rengar 1v1. It's really... It's quite a... quite important thing to do, actually. It makes 1v1ing people really easily, so you can split push later on as well. Yeah, I was fighting in the jungle for so long that I didn't even realise that blue buff has respawned. Like, we're at the time where the first buffs are respawning. So, holy moly. Although then again, that did respawn... I think that respawned a bit early, so maybe he started his blue buff, but still. Good lord. We managed... Whoops, that's the wrong button. I went to put a box there. We managed to actually take away his red buff and his blue buff here. So we've taken away 2 of his first 3 buffs, which is a pretty good ratio, actually, and I'm more than happy with that. And now we're just going to take our own one here as well. Later on, Diana will get our blue buffs, but right now, while we're still, you know, still jungling, still the lane phase, we still want to have impact, we're going to get the red buff. Now, there's kind of 2 ways to be playing Shaco, I guess. Either a gank-heavy Shaco or a farming... No, farming is a completely wrong word. You don't want to be farming anyway on Shaco, but... Counter jungling, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Invading or ganking are the 2 big archetypes, I suppose you could say, of Shaco. And both of them have their ups and downs. I honestly, like in Season 5, I think maybe you want to lean more towards the ganking side of things, but invading is still fine. Like, you saw what I did to Rango. I still screwed him over really hard, so... Alright, I'm going to kill the chickens here. Kill the mini ones first as well, guys, because these chickens hurt like a mofo, and the minis do as much damage as the big one, but they take like 2 hits to die. So you kind of want to be smiting the chickens as well whenever you take them, but sometimes you just can't, and that's okay if you can't. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to ward this bush for bot lane. The reason why I'm warding this bush is because of Rengar. Rengar usually, with his ulti, quite frequently he will lane gank places, which means he's going to gank from behind, so he's going to come through like here or something. And if he does that, then a good way to spot him out is with the ward that I put down here. So that should protect people from Rengars if Rengar decides to come through bot lane. Of course, taking these scuttle crabs is always quite a good idea because it gives you so much gold. However, if you're playing Shaco, it takes a bloody long time to do that. Now, I'm going to try and come in and get this counter gank off. Don't know whether we'll get it, but... one more hit. Alright, he's dead. No, we tanked the charm. Get him. Oh well. Ah well. Well, we killed Rengar, so that was all good, I guess. Could have been worse. We didn't die either, that was the big thing, I guess. I mean, we almost killed Ari, but we almost died ourselves, which would have been really bad. Now I'm just gonna get out of here because I got gold, I got money, I got bank to spend, and more importantly, I got no health. So if I get caught out, if someone comes for me, I'm dead. I'm gonna buy the Moby boots here, and I'm gonna get another longsword. Pretty far behind as far as gold goes, honestly, but you know, we're okay. We're doing okay. Gonna go towards the Hydra, like I say, Tiamat. You can make an argument for not going this Vamp Scepter and just going straight into Tiamat. You can do that if you want to. I just wanted a bit more sustained because I knew I was behind, which meant that I was most likely gonna be jungling a little bit just to get back into the game. Not really get back in, but you know, to get some farm. So that's what I wanted the lifesteal for, so I could stay in the jungle more. Alright, let's see if this Skull Crab is open in this river as well. I want to go and gank Ari actually before the Scuttle Crab because I don't think Ari has her ult up. If Ari's ult is still down, which it should be, then she's a pretty easy kill. Well, she's not even an easy kill because her Q gives her like 10,000 move speed, but... yes, Diana. Oh, she got chomped. Nice. Nice. So yeah, she's a comparatively easy kill compared to what she would be like if she had her ulti up. So while her ult's still down, I want to take advantage of that by just ganking her. You always want to do that as well, guys. If someone has like a high mobility ultimate or like flash, for example, and you know it's down, you want to try and gank while it's down so that you have a much higher chance of success with that gank. Which is what I did with ganking Ari there when her ult was still down. It's quite an important thing to do, so make sure you're doing that if you can. Ah, unlucky Downer. So again, I'm positioning this dragon fight here so that one of the Shacos is kicking this guy up the arse, the other one... ooh, the other one is, you know, not kicking him up the arse. Doing that so that we can get used to the backside passive. Ideally, you don't want your clone to die until it times out so that you can get the most amount of damage out of it. But at the same time, it's hard to balance that sometimes because you also don't want to tank too much damage yourself by just having the dragon hit you. So ideally, though, you do want to be getting as much damage as possible out of that dragon. Out of that clone, sorry, on that dragon. And Shaco is one of those champions who is actually very good at taking away dragon kind of early on into the game because of his clone. But he's not like he used to be. He actually used to be really good at soloing dragon, even at like level 8 or something like that. I'm going to try and spook her. Nah, I thought I might be able to pop her ulti there when she saw Diana, but nah, she didn't bite. I'm actually going to recall before I do this red buff. Nice dodge. There's no point me running down here, I can't change anything. I'm recalling because I'm low on health, so I may as well recall. Like, I'm going to recall anyway, to be honest. And I may as well recall and get some items before I go to the red buff, because I don't want to waste the buff duration. This Rengar has quite an interesting build. Ranger Trailblazer is not a bad option on him. Stalker's Blade is you know, also good, so is Skirmishers, but it's kind of preference on Rengar. He does struggle clearing, so Rangers is fine. Warrior is good as well. It gives less carry potential than Devourer, but it means you have to put less effort into farming those stacks. It means you can be more aggressive early. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. But the rushing Lucidity boots is really interesting. Before they reworked Rengar, it used to be a really good idea to just get loads of CDR and just gank 24/7 with your ulti. But now that they kind of changed him, it's actually arguably better to just go for you know, like go for damage or tankiness or whatever to actually get stats and stack CDR. But you know, it works for me because either way, if I think that's a bad item choice, then it's going to work in my favor. So let's go top lane here. Top lane is actually a really difficult lane to gank in general because they tend to be quite tanky, and your laners tend to not have a lot of damage to help you out. But this guy is so overextended and low on health that it doesn't matter. He's going to die either way, hopefully. So he's dead. I'm going to kill this Skull Crab. Oh, the Skull Crab is weak. We haven't taken this yet, I guess. Red buff, please. Nice. I want to give Downer this blue buff because Downer is actually doing really well. Like, blue buff is really good on Shaco. Like, it's not having to worry about mana is great. Like, really great on him, but it's not, you know, it's not worth taking over your laners if your laners need it, because your laners will kick up a stink and it will piss them off. But considering this Downer is just rolling through Ari by himself, I don't think that he really cares about the blue buff right now. Killing the Gromp, and then I'm going to go and try and do something. Alright, see whether I can help. Nice. I got my Moby boots so I can get into this fight. I'm gonna assume that Rango might be here soon. Yeah, he's here. That's my bad. I think I could have saved him. Yeah, maybe if I put a box on Ari, that might have saved him. I had a feeling he would come and kill that guy, so yeah. I don't know, I kind of predicted it, but at the same time I didn't really do anything to stop it, which isn't good. Those chompers were almost delicious. You are hiding? Well, allow me to spot you. I'm going to save my Shiv for the last hit, so I can perma-slow him with the E. Always want to be maxing your E, by the way, guys, on Shaco. It gives you the most burst damage, which is good for ganks. Will you max second is up to you. I like to go boxes because it increases the fear duration, as well as making clearing the jungle easier by increasing the box's damage. But you can get Q if you're just going for like a really high damage build. Like if you have high amounts of AD or something, or if you're really snowballing. I'm going to sit in the wings here, because I want to try and counter this gank. Counter ganking is actually a... Counter ganking is a really efficient way to be ganking. It's better than actually just flat out, like full on ganking, because you catch people by surprise, which really works in your favor a lot of the times. And in addition, you can often bait them into overextending, so they'll use their like gap closers to initiate, thinking they're ganking something, and then they'll just like, no, they'll die because they're not, because you show up and they're not ready. So, you know, it's a really good way to be ganking, and in addition, finally, oh wow, I got an assist, nice. In addition to that, it's also like a swing. So you don't just get one kill, you kind of, it's not just like one kill on its own, it's like one kill plus preventing them from getting a kill. So instead of it being like this, it's like this. So it's almost, in my eyes, I kind of see a successful counter gank at least, to be kind of worth 2 kills, because you prevent a kill from happening on their end. But yeah, and you even stand a chance of getting 2 kills, just like 2 actual kills, like killing 2 people with counter ganks as well, because people don't really expect it. And yeah, like I say, that surprise can really work in your favor. I have a lot of burst here, so I'm just gonna run and kill the Ari. Pretty simple stuff really on Shaco, what I'm doing now. I'm just like seeing people and running at them. Like there's nothing really to explain about that gank. I don't really want to go too deep here because it's right under a tower. Don't think we can really stop this or fight this. See whether I can tag this bitch with my ulti. He's not going to bite, whatever, we'll do dragon instead. There's a ward around here though, I don't know where it is. We should kill the Scuttle Crab. Killing the Scuttle Crab is really important for doing dragon, or Baron, because having this vision in front of the dragon pit gives you really good access to it. It means that, especially if, you know, by taking it you deny it from the enemy, and if this is up, like if the Scuttle Crab vision is up and dragon is up as well, then the enemy can get really easy steals from you. Excuse me. So you want to take it yourself so you can see. And also, you know, it just gives you pretty decent vision of like people coming in from here, for example. But really the vision isn't great for you. It's better to just like deny it from them, really, if that makes sense. I'm going to try and... Oh, I think I found a pretty cap. I don't know. I don't know how deep I want to go here. I'll go deep. Diana's here, so I can go deep. I'm just going to slow. Nice. That Blitzcrank didn't hit the hook. That was... Okay, so Ori died. And then the Jinx Rocket went through Ori because she died and killed Janna in the background. That's pretty bloody funny, actually. Alright, I'm going to go for some attack speed here. Just to round off my build a little bit. I'm going to go for a static shiv. The reason why I'm going to go for a static shiv for my attack speed is because I want to get an Infinity Edge after it. And Infinity Edge obviously works really well with more crit. So the more crit you have, the better Infinity Edge gets because it has the passive where you do like, what's it, 250% critical damage instead of 200%. I'm going to smite these chickens here. Also, I want to make a note about why I've chosen this sweeper as opposed to getting a warding totem, upgrading that. I think upgrading a warding totem is really, really good nowadays and probably the best thing to do. Why would they surrender? That's so boring. I can't try to play Shaco in the late game. But yeah, it's the best thing to do, getting warding totems in my opinion, because it's just like, obviously it's simple, it's wards. But sweepers is really good for playmaking people like Shaco and like Fiddle, who like they kind of outplay people with positioning, and they rely on you not knowing where they are. So that's why I like sweepers on him. And also taking things like dragon and stuff, you kind of want the sweeper to do that, taking objectives when you're invading and things too. Now, last thing I want to say before I get out of this is I want to say that late game Shaco, like how I would continue to play that game, because Shaco, obviously the way you play him definitely changes when the game goes on. So what you can do is, the best thing to do in my opinion is to split push with him. That's if you went with a build like I did with Hydra. You just stick to a side lane and you just like push that down permanently and you take towers. Shaco's really good at taking towers because his boxes hit towers and he can clone as well. And also he's pretty good at 1v1ing people, especially if you've gone for the skirmish to saber like I did. So sticking in side lanes, split pushing that down is a really, really effective way to be playing. But you can still teamfight on Shaco. It's a bit of a misconception that Shaco just can't teamfight. So, but if you do that, deceive and go for the back line. But he's not a great team fighter, so you'll probably die if you do that. But if you take the enemy carry down with you, it's worth it. And also, you can kind of combine the two, so you can be split pushing, draw someone to you, and then go and collapse on the enemy team and get them from behind. So yeah, you know, that's what you can be doing with late game Shaco. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game, guys. It kind of displays some of the strengths of Shaco, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And let's go win the next one as well.